Picture a river flowing for thousands of miles. It starts as a tiny stream in the Black Forest Mountains. It gets bigger and stronger as it goes, creating valleys and reflecting the sky. This is the Danube, Europe's second longest river, and its trip doesn't end at the ocean. Instead, it slows down, spreads out, and changes. The powerful Danube gives way to a huge area of channels, islands, and lakes. This is the Danube Delta, a world created where the river meets the Black Sea. Its power is gentle, a slow display of life in its purest form. Here the river doesn't stop, it just changes shape, giving its water to the sea and creating one of Europe's most amazing natural wonders. Found in southeastern Romania, the Danube Delta is a UNESCO World Heritage Site, a title it has not just for its beauty, but for how important it is to our planet's health. It's a safe place for many different plants and animals, a key stop for millions of migrating birds, and a living lab for scientists studying nature's delicate balance. Inside its borders, over 300 types of birds build nests, raise their babies, and fill the air with their songs. More than 150 kinds of fish swim in the waters, feeding birds, mammals, and the people who live there. But the Danube Delta is more than just a bunch of impressive facts. It's a mix of sounds, from the reeds rustling in the wind to the frogs singing at sunset. Unlike deltas formed by sudden big events, the Danube Delta is a work of art made slowly over thousands of years. As the Danube River flows east from Germany, it carries tons of sediment, tiny bits of rock, soil, and organic matter. When it reaches the Black Sea, the river slows down and loses energy. It can't carry the sediment anymore, so the Danube drops it. Over thousands of years, these deposits have piled up, layer upon layer, like an artist putting paint on a canvas. As sediment builds, it blocks the river, making it split. This constant back and forth between the river and the sea, between wearing away and building up, has created the Danube Delta's fan shape. The Danube Delta isn't just one river mouth, but a huge network of channels, canals, and lakes, all connected like veins in a giant leaf. Three main channels, the Chilia, Sulina, and Sfântu Gheorghe, are like the delta's main arteries, carrying the Danube's water to the sea. These main channels then split into a maze of smaller waterways, creating a mix of islands, marshes, and reed beds. Traveling through this watery maze is a journey into a world of changing views. Around every corner you see something new, a hidden lake shining in the sun, a family of ducks swimming through the reeds, a fisherman quietly casting his net. This network of waterways is the heart of the delta, providing food, transportation, and a sense of belonging for the people and animals that live there. Rising from the water are the delta's islands, pieces of land that look like stepping stones in a sea of green. Some islands, like Labyrinth Forest, are covered in old oak trees, their branches covered with vines, making it feel like a wild, ancient forest. Others, like the Karaorman sand dunes, look completely different, a tiny desert shaped by wind and time. But perhaps the most famous part of the Danube Delta is its huge reed beds, stretching as far as you can see. These tall reeds, some over 10 feet high, create a world within a world, giving shelter and food to many creatures. The Danube Delta's islands, with their different ecosystems, show how nature can create beauty and wonder in surprising places. The Danube Delta is a symphony of life, a mix of buzzing, chirping, croaking, and singing. It's an orchestra where the wind sounds like a violin in the reeds, frogs croak like bassoons, and birds sing like flutes. Over 5,500 kinds of plants and animals live here, attracted by the lots of food, the different habitats, and the relative peace of this watery world. From tiny insects under a leaf to the big white-tailed eagle soaring high above, every creature has an important job in the delta's ecosystem. Step into this world, and you become part of this symphony, surrounded by the sights and sounds of life at its purest. The Danube Delta is a birdwatcher's dream, a place where binoculars show you a world of flying birds, bright feathers, and beautiful calls. The delta is part of a major bird migration route, so it welcomes millions of bird travelers every year, making it a crucial stop on their long journeys. Over 300 bird species visit the delta, some coming to breed and raise their young, others looking for food and rest during their migrations. Look up, and you might see the majestic white-tailed eagle, with its huge wingspan soaring above the reeds. Listen carefully, and you'll hear the clattering call of the spoonbill, its special beak searching for food in the shallow water. The Danube Delta is a vital link in the chain of life for these migrating birds, showing how connected our planet is and how important it is to protect these safe places. While the skies above the Danube Delta are full of amazing birds, the waters below hold their own secrets. The delta's network of channels, lakes, and marshes is a rich home for many aquatic creatures. Over 150 kinds of fish, from tiny minnows to huge catfish, swim in these waters. Pike, with their torpedo-shaped bodies and quick reflexes, wait among the reeds to catch their prey. Carp thrive in the delta's many environments, their scales shining like jewels. And sturgeon, ancient giants, migrate upstream to lay eggs, their bodies covered in bony plates. This underwater world is a key food source for the delta's birds, mammals, and the people who have lived alongside this ecosystem for centuries. The Danube Delta is home not just to lots of small creatures, but also to some of Europe's most impressive mammals. While you don't see them often, these shy creatures show that the delta supports many different kinds of wildlife. The Eurasian otter swims gracefully through the delta's waterways, its sleek body built for speed. Watch it disappear into the roots, only to reappear with a fish in its mouth. The European wildcat hunts through the thick forests, its senses alert. And the European beaver, a natural architect, cuts down trees with its strong teeth, building dams and lodges that change the flow of water. These gentle giants, along with all the other creatures that live in the Danube Delta, show how important it is to protect this natural wonder. For centuries, people have lived in the Danube Delta, living in harmony with nature. They are the true protectors of this watery wilderness, their lives closely tied to the delta's rhythms. These communities, often living in villages you can only reach by boat, understand the delta's delicate balance. They know the best fishing spots, how to navigate the channels, and the language of the wind and water. Their lives show that it's possible to live sustainably, that humans can live in and protect even the most fragile ecosystems. They add a rich cultural layer to the delta, a story of resilience, adaptation, and respect for nature. Life in the Danube Delta depends on the water. It shapes their homes, their jobs, and their way of life. Traditional houses built on stilts above the floodplains rise and fall with the water levels. Fishing, the heart of these communities, is more than just a job. It's an art passed down through families. They cast their nets with skill, their movements perfected over years, their knowledge of the fish ensuring they only take what they need. Reeds, collected from the marshes, are used to build houses, make furniture, and create traditional crafts. This close connection with nature creates a deep respect for the delta's resources, a reminder that true wealth comes from living in harmony with the environment. The Danube Delta isn't just a beautiful natural place, it's a mix of cultures, a place where traditions have been passed down for generations, shaped by the delta's unique environment. Romanian traditions mix with Ukrainian, Lipovan, and Turkish influences, creating a rich mix of customs, languages, and beliefs. Folk music, with its beautiful melodies and lively rhythms, is heard throughout the delta, reflecting life on the water. Colorful festivals, celebrating the seasons and the delta's bounty, bring communities together in celebrations of song, dance, and storytelling. Food, seasoned with local herbs and spices, reflects the delta's abundance. Fresh fish, cooked over fires, are a staple, while hearty stews flavored with paprika and smoked fish are perfect for cool evenings. The Danube Delta, with all its wild beauty, is a fragile paradise. Its intricate web of life faces threats both seen and unseen. Pollution, carried by the Danube's water from faraway cities and factories, threatens the delta's clean ecosystems. Chemicals, invisible to us, get into the water, harming fish and the balance of life. Climate change, a global problem with local effects, brings unpredictable weather, changing water levels and impacting the delta's delicate balance. The very existence of this unique ecosystem is at risk, reminding us that our choices today will decide the future of this natural treasure. Because they know the Danube Delta is vulnerable, people and groups have become protectors of its future. Scientists, dedicated to understanding how life works in the delta, do research, check water quality, and track animal populations, giving important information to guide conservation efforts. Park rangers, patrolling the waterways, work hard to stop illegal fishing and poaching, protecting the delta's wildlife. Local communities, the true caretakers of this land, are using sustainable practices, knowing that their lives depend on the delta's health. They are turning to ecotourism, inviting visitors to experience the delta's beauty while minimizing their impact. Conservation in the Danube Delta isn't about keeping people out, but about finding a balance between what nature needs and what the people who live there need. It's about understanding that the delta's resources are limited and must be used wisely for future generations. It's about responsible tourism, teaching visitors about the delta's importance and encouraging them to leave no trace behind. It's about supporting local communities, helping them become protectors of their environment, giving them alternative ways to make a living that are good for both the environment and their wallets. Finding this balance is a difficult and ongoing process, requiring teamwork, new ideas, and a shared commitment to protecting the Danube Delta's future. As the sun sets, creating long shadows on the water, the Danube Delta shows its true magic. The sky fills with color-bright oranges, deep purples, and soft pinks, reflecting on the still water. The air, filled with the sounds of the delta settling down for the night. The rustling reeds, the croaking frogs, the distant call of a bird, tell stories of resilience, adaptation, and the power of nature. To stand on the banks of the Danube Delta is to feel a deep sense of peace, a connection to something ancient and vast. The delta, with its waterways, its abundance of life, and its rich culture, shows the beauty and wonder that can happen when nature is allowed to thrive. The Danube Delta is not just a beautiful place, it's a vital ecosystem, a haven for many species and how thousands of people make a living. Its future, like the future of many natural wonders, is uncertain. The choices we make today, our actions, the policies we support, our lifestyles, will decide whether this unique place will continue to inspire future generations. Will we allow pollution to harm its waterways, climate change to disrupt its balance, and unsustainable practices to use up its resources? Or will we protect this planet, working together to ensure that the Danube Delta's biodiversity, beauty, and culture will continue for generations to come? The answer lies not in big actions, but in the everyday choices we make, the small things we do, and our commitment to protect this fragile paradise, not just for ourselves, but for everyone who will inherit the results of our actions.